Hi and welcome to your next unit. Today we'll be going through CHCCCS015, provide individualised support. So firstly we need to determine the support needs. What is your role in implementing an individualised plan? So we have a conglomerate of people that come together to build an individualised plan, or what's also known as a care plan. These people can be from support workers, families, friends, neighbours, to medical professionals, to external providers. So we all come together to sit down with the client and their advocate to put together a plan for a holistic approach towards their care so we can look after every aspect of their care. So what is an individualised plan? So it's a personalised care plan for that particular client. No two care plans are the same. It is specific to the client and their needs. It includes all the information of relevant care to the client. So this could be anything from general care, likes, dislikes, preferences, any previous medical history, family and advocate name and contact details, end of life care, daily medication and daily needs. So confirming the individualised plan details. So this is where we sit down with the client and their advocate or their family member and we confirm that the information that we have gathered is true and correct. We then go on and we consider what things that we can put in place in our organisation to make the client's needs met and to make it the most comfortable stay possible for them. So the client has a set of rights. They have a right to be a part of their care. They have a right to be a part of the decision making of their care and any aspect of their life for that matter. They have a right to live free from abuse or neglect, and they have a right to complain. They also have the right to be treated as an individual and withdraw from any service at any time. Complaints procedure. So we need our client to have a clear understanding of what the organisation's policy and procedures are around complaints. They need to have a clear understanding of their rights and responsibilities and that they can complain and what that process looks like. So we need to sit down with our client and go through what the steps that they need to take if they do wish to put a complaint in. Supporting the plan. So working with the client to identify actions and activities that can support their individualised plan. So this can refer to anything from their personal care to home maintenance to shopping services, making appointments for them, getting transport for them to get to those appointments or anything in between. We do this by promoting independence. So yes, we can arrange the transport for them to go to an appointment, but we would promote to our client that they make the appointment. Yes, we can assist them to dial the number, and yes, we can assist them to write down any necessary information that they need for that appointment. But we still want to promote the independence for them to take charge and make the appointment themselves. Promoting a client's right to make their own decisions. So clients have the right to make their own decisions, no matter how insignificant they may be. It could come down to what colour blouse she wants to wear today. She has the right to choose. And they have the right to participate in activities. They have the right to refuse to have a shower. They have a right to choose what they would like to eat. Preparing support activities. So what we need to determine is what is in the individual client's care plan and what the client's preferences are. Once we have determined that, we can then go out into the community and have a look at different events or activities that are happening in the community and gather the relevant information we need to take back to our client to see if they would be interested in joining something. Developing and maintaining trust with your client. This isn't going to happen overnight like it doesn't with any relationship. So how do we make it work? We start by being truthful. We're not going to lie and hold things back from our clients. We're not going to promise them things that we can't deliver. So therefore we're going to give them straight answers. We're not going to let your bad mood show. Everybody has a bad day, but you're there to support the client. We need to display patience and understanding. Yes, they might take a little bit longer to make some decisions, but that's okay. We're there to support them along that process. We need to take the time to ask how they're going and if they have any questions or if they're unsure of anything. Providing care and support. We need to provide care and support based on the client's individualised care plans, the client's preferences and strengths, and the organisation's policies, protocols and procedures that we work under. Supporting team. So you are one part of a supporting team for a client. You are an essential part as you do a lot for the client throughout their day. But we also have other external services. This could be anything from doctors to physios to diversional therapists, and we all work together as a team to put a holistic approach of care towards the client for their well-being. Workplace safety. Everybody has a responsibility to have a safe workplace, and this can include the elimination of hazards and risks, not only for you as a support worker or an employee of the organisation, but for your clients as well. So how do we do this? We contribute to the safety. If we identify that there is a potential risk or hazard, we either want to try and eliminate it as soon as possible if we can, or we need to notify a supervisor of that risk or hazard and get them to eliminate it. What is a clean environment? A clean environment is critical. As you are working with vulnerable people, we need to ensure that the environment is clean of any pathogens. We maintain a clean environment by the following: physical cleanliness on surfaces and tools, low risk to health from microorganisms, access to safe and clean water, access to basic sanitation, low risk of cross-contamination, low risk of infection, and safety disposal of waste. So this can also include your PPE and the safe disposal of that as well. Dignity and privacy. So dignity is a result of being treated with respect. As I've mentioned earlier, if you're attending to personal hygiene needs, we want to maintain the client's dignity as much as we possibly can, and this would be done by knocking on the door before we enter, closing the door if we're attending to personal hygiene needs, and maintaining respect at all times towards our client. Privacy, on the other hand, is where we can allow our clients to, if they go to the toilet, for example, is to be able to go with the door shut. Have some privacy. It's not just about having a door closed and doing personal hygiene needs behind closed doors. It's also giving them the respect to have some time to themselves. Seeking assistance. So you may be faced with a task that is outside of the scope of your role. So what do we need to do? We need to seek some assistance. How do we do this? We go to our supervisor. We explain to them what the task is and that you either haven't done the task before or that you feel that it's outside the scope of your role, and we get some assistance from them. Monitoring your own work. So this is where we stop and we reflect on our own work and our own practices and standards that we're putting forward to our clients. And we give ourselves a bit of an analysis and a bit of feedback. We want to be honest throughout this evaluation process, and we can often do this by asking our colleagues and our supervisors for some feedback on our own work. We can then take that on board and sit there and evaluate what we feel that we're doing well, what our strengths are, and what we feel we need to improve in, and what our weaknesses are. Once we've identified what our strengths and weaknesses are, we can then put into place how we're going to turn those weaknesses into strengths. Would it be through further education and training? Would it be through some volunteer hours in a different area of the organisation? There's lots of different ways that you can gain further education. Discussing with client and supervisor. It's essential to discuss the client as well as the supervisor. Clients know their needs and preferences better than anybody else, so they are the best person to go to ask about their needs and preferences. Any changes need to be clearly explained to the client by yourself or by the supervisor, and they need to be able to have an understanding of those changes and accept that they're coming. Examples of potential or actual risk. So this could come down to anything from the environment, evidence of abuse, evidence of self-harm, depression, anxiety, impaired cognitive function, socially isolating, uncharacteristic behaviours of concern, and any of those things that you may see changes in your clients with, you need to ensure that you report to your supervisor. Additional and unmet needs. So these are needs that have been specified in the individual care plan that are not being met. So what do? We need to go back and identify what these needs are. We need to speak with our client and their advocate to see if these needs have changed. They also need to be reported, referred to and dealt with in a timely manner. So throughout this unit, you'll see that there's a PowerPoint presentation. There's also a learner guide that you can go through and read. You'll see that you'll have a list of summative assessments. They consist of skill assessments, knowledge assessments, and performance assessments. At any time you're experiencing any difficulty with any of your questions, please feel free to contact your trainer directly, and he or she will be more than happy to help you along the way. Thanks for listening, guys. See you next time. Bye.